Come on in the room. Come on in the room. The Bucks lose an OT thriller. 128-118. Doc. I know I'm going to have a lot of blame for Doc Rivers. I know some people are going to disagree, but we'll talk about it. Doc Rivers is our doctor. He writes out all of our scriptures. He gives us some medicine in our room. We are live. The Cream City crossover. It's the Guru Trey Crosby III.
JT.
Chris King.
128-118, fellas. Overtime. Instant classic. A thriller. You had 42 points from Chris Middleton. If you told me that Chris Middleton was putting up 42 points with Damian Lillard on the roster, I'd have told you, especially the way he played game one and game two, I would have told you this is an easy win for the Milwaukee Bucks. We saw how this thing started. It was rough. And there were a lot of questions about how this thing started, but the Bucks regrouped. They recovered. And they really got themselves into a really good situation. They got it down to, I think it was about 12 points all second half. And then in the fourth, they made their run. Some great plays, some great moments that we saw, but it just wasn't enough. 121-118, game winner from your boy Tyrese Haliburton. Coming downhill. But again, a lot of heroics all over the place. We got to talk about all of it. If you're joining us, appreciate you. Get the likes in, all of that. Get at us in the chat, in the comments. We will read some of your stuff at the appropriate time. And then also on the Twitter at TCIIESQ. A lot of comments already coming in about that. And again, about this game. Let us know how you're feeling. Are you optimistic? Are you not? I don't know. And again, I think a lot of people feel a lot of different ways about this. There's going to be a lot of different things. But we'll start this thing off as we always do with our game recap, sponsored by who?
The law office of Daly M. Johnson. When you need defense off the court.
Off the court is where you need defense. And the Bucks, I thought they had a good game plan tonight, but it wasn't enough. But yeah, when you need defense off the court, you call the law office of Daly M. Johnson. He's giving you criminal defense, trafficking, OWI defense, TROs, and injunctions. Call the law office of Daly M. Johnson. He's serving Central and South Central Wisconsin. 608-893-8370.
70.
Go to his website, www.dmjlaw.com. Sign up for free phone or in-person consultation. Let's do the game recap, fellas. It was, let's see here, 42-10, 5 assists from Chris. He shot 55% from the field and 44% from three. He was a +2 on the evening. Chris Middleton was good. Bobby Portis, it's crazy because if you look at his stat line, he's going to finish with 17 and 18. So 17 points, 18 boards. He's 46% from the field, 33% from three. He was a -1 on the night. I will tell you that to me, Bobby Portis, that 17 and 18 was the most garbage 17 and 18 that you may see. And again, I will say this, the second half of Bobby Portis was solid to good at some points, but I can't excuse those rebounds. I cannot. I refuse to excuse missing, and I get it. He had 18 rebounds. He had 18. Don't give a damn. Because you know what? I'd have traded all those 18 for one when you gave up a minute and a half possession to the Indiana Pacers. Was that in OT or in the fourth quarter? That was in overtime. Was it? Was it the fourth? I don't remember. They were giving up rebounds. They were giving up rebounds in the fourth. They were giving up rebounds in overtime. So again, I get it. I understand it. First off, his first half was horrible. Abysmal. He was at his first quarter terrible. Defense awful. He was all over the place. It was bad. Did he redeem himself in the second half? A little bit, yes, he did. But again, here's the thing. I know people don't realize the game is 48 minutes. 53 if necessary. But the game goes on. So I can't just because you play well down the stretch into the game. Maybe if you bust your ass in the first half, maybe you're not getting down to this. Maybe you were the reason it took so long for the Bucks to get back into the game because he played so piss poor. But we'll get into Bobby Portis. Brook Lopez, 14 points, 4 rebounds. Damn it, fellas. I think here's what I think. I think if you are 7'2" and you only get 4 rebounds in a playoff game, in a game where you needed rebounds and couldn't get them, I'm gonna keep the comment to myself. That's what I'm gonna do because I don't want to get in trouble.
Smart.
I'm gonna keep
Smart.
it to myself. But mark my words. What I'm thinking right now, whatever you're thinking, I'm thinking. That's what should happen to him. That's what should happen. That's what should happen. Just know it was a bad thought. Dame Lillard, 28,
Hey,
28
yo.
and 8 from Dame. I'm sorry because I can get pissed off, but I'm trying not to. 6 of 20 tonight for Dame, 4 of 12. He was 12 of 12 from the line. My only thought about Dame, I think he got hurt late in the game, so he was kind of a decoy in overtime. But Dame, for the most part, again, tonight, he paced himself. That was the difference from Damian Lillard. Instead of going out and going all, he paced himself. And I think in the fourth quarter, what did he have? Like 10 points in the fourth quarter, 12 points, something like that. And again, they needed him because they were down 12, I think, in the fourth. And again, he started that comeback, hit a couple threes, got to the basket. My only concern with Damian Lillard, my only issue with 40 seconds left, and again, Chris Middleton tied the game up anyway, but I can't remember what the time and score was. With 40 seconds left, Dame went down the floor and tried to grift his way to a foul. Again, it was a tie game. And he got fouled often during this game. Again, he took 12 free throws, made them all. But with 40 seconds left, and again, I give the Pacers credit because, I mean, they are very handsy. They're all over the place. Again, Dame got fouled on a couple threes. Like, they are grabbing and pulling. With 40 seconds left, if you just watch that Philly game, they're not calling a lot, right? So you've got to be you've got to figure that thing out to where at the end of the day, you just can't grift at the end of the day and try to draw a foul. He tried to do that, didn't work. But again, Chris made up for it. Pat Beverly, 11 points, 2 boards. Pat, I thought Pat was okay. I thought he was good most of the night. I thought he was good. Again, triple-double, Tyrese Haliburton. But, these are the moments they brought you here for, Pat. And that's a tough matchup for Pat. And it's a tough matchup. I mean, I want to tip my hat to Haliburton. It's a good play that he made. But he's here for these moments. You're the dog. You're supposed to be making those plays. You got cooked. You got cooked in the game. I mean, it happens. It happens. But that was one, where you wanted to get a stop and you got cooked. I think he should have followed Haliburton in the backcourt, not allowed him to get a full head of steam. But that's neither here nor there. Beasley, donut, 0 points. Again, he's non-factor. 6 minutes. I'm okay with a DNP for Beasley next game. Pat Connaughton, no points, 0 for 1, trash. AJ Green, 4 points, 3 boards. AJ Green almost has as many boards as Brook Lopez. And Andre Jackson Jr., 17 minutes, 2 points. Andre, think about this. So Chris Middleton was a +2. Damian Lillard was a +1. Those are your only pluses from the plus minus for your starters. The only pluses on the bench, AJ Green was a +10. Andre Jackson Jr. was a +7. Why the hell weren't they in the game late in the game, Doc Rivers? What the hell are we doing? Now, again, I'm not really talking about AJ Green as much, but Andre Jackson Jr., he proved himself tonight. He proved that he can go out and play. He proved that he's ready to play. My bad, I keep hitting my camera. I'm pissed off. My camera won't even work right. I'm all over the place. That's how this – anyway. Going on the other side, I'm mad. Tyrese Haliburton, 18, 10, and 16. Again, it was a solid night for Haliburton, but again, shooting the ball. The Bucks done a really good job on Haliburton. 22 shot attempts tonight. He was 1 for 12 from 3. I mean, Tyrese Haliburton, again, he made a lot of plays. He was +16. I think a lot of that was contributed to his teammates. But I mean, he was okay tonight. I mean, it was a triple-double. He got 10 rebounds. But, and again, at the end of the day, he made the game-winning play. So, again, you got to give him credit. But I think the Bucks are doing a really good job on Haliburton. Really good job on Haliburton. Again, 16 assists, though. So, I mean, that's a big number. Nembhard was 16. Miles Turner with 29 and 9. Siakam, 17 points. Bucks did a good job on Siakam tonight, too. Doc Rivers had a good game plan. 17 points on 17 shots. Good stuff. Neesmith with 13. Obi Toppin started off the game very well, 15 and 6. TJ McConnell with 7 points. JT, again, I mean, this was a thriller. You got to give Chris his props for doing what he did. I thought Doc Rivers, again, I thought he coached a really good game. But at some point, this is my issue. The reason he coached a good game was because he had a great plan for Siakam, and he wasn't afraid to go to Andre Jackson Jr. And Andre Jackson Jr. turned the tenor of this basketball game. Like, he changed the game around in the first half, in the second quarter, to get this thing, under wraps. And then, he didn't really play him in third, but the Bucks got into the game, and he played him again, in spots the second half. But once it became apparent that you're not getting rebounds, you're not getting the plays, the loose balls, everything was going to Indiana in that fourth quarter. I just don't understand how he doesn't get inserted into the basketball game at some point. And I thought, again, he played Siakam well. He played Haliburton well. Like, Andre Jackson Jr. played a really good game defensively. He wasn't wild. He played a hell of a basketball game tonight. And yeah, he could have been in for Pat Beverly. I get we brought Pat Beverly. He could have been in. You had to have him in the game. I mean, because he just skies in from rebounds from all over the place. I think he would have found a rebound. Again, missing Giannis, I won't get into it. We'll talk about some of the stuff later. Obviously, I think if the Bucks had Giannis, you win this game easily. And yeah, like I said, I think there's a lot to go over and talk about. Probably some stuff that you guys saw that I didn't see, that I didn't mention. I'll think about some stuff as we talk about it. But the Bucks do lose it 128-118. Game they could have won. JT, that's some of what I saw. What'd you see?
A lot of the same thing you saw, unfortunately, right? I think the first thing, to your point about Bobby, that first half, I agree, is some of the absolute worst basketball we've seen Bobby play for the Bucks. Just absolutely stunk. Swinging door on defense, shot selection on offense. I don't know what that was. Now, interesting thing is Bobby's stat line for that first half, he finished like 1 for 6, 2 points. I think he had 7 rebounds. Had a very similar stat line last game against the Pacers, right? He was 1 for 6 in that in the first half. He was 1 for 6 in that first half, 2 points. And yeah, Bobby had 15 points in the second half today and 11 rebounds, which was certainly better than that first half. But I agree with you. I certainly think that if you watch the game and you see that first half, it's a night and day difference between Bobby and both halves. And that first half, he just didn't help us. It was awful. And we talk about redemption. I'm not even going to call that redemption, right? It's more like, all right, you just played better. Anyway, Dame, look, I am we are so fortunate that Dame is on our team, literally. Dame, what was he, like 12 for 12 tonight from the line? And, Dame, I thought Dame got hurt in that first half, or I thought Dame went down in that first half. And then again,
he did.
You saw that later on. So I think Dame was probably hurt all night. And I can't knock Dame. You know what? I can't knock Dame at all tonight because one, he's been playing his ass off. Two, he's been 100% doing his part. Three, Dame has really kicked this thing into another gear for the playoffs. So man, I'm gonna keep respect on Dame's name regardless, even if the stat line didn't look all that great at the end of the day when you look from an efficiency perspective. And you know what else? Let me give Dame credit for. Dame is the only one when this team was allergic to rebounding in the fourth quarter, and then in the last few minutes, Dame go in there and get that board. You got the smallest guy on the court going in there and getting that board because your 7'2" guy won't. Your 7'2" guy, I don't know I just don't know what that is. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Brook Lopez, boy, I mean tonight it was just bad. It just bad. Did you guys catch that play in the fourth quarter? I was talking to Chris about it. It was like the pick and roll, right? Brook was rolling off the pick, and Dame throws the ball, and Brook trips over his feet. It was just a slow fall. It was an absolute mess. I was embarrassed. It was, what the hell is this, right? It's just been a lot of that with Brook. And I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what the long-term game plan is for Brook, but there needs to not be one. Right, I think let me get y'all some free advice in the Bucks front office here. Right, we can go ahead and free that salary cap up. Go ahead and start fielding offers for my man in the off season. We can get that one off. We can get that one off the books. Chris, I'm so happy for Chris. I'm so happy for Chris tonight because this was more of Chris's battle through injury. He had been up and down, and it was just goofy injury after goofy injury. Right, they had a tooth knocked out a couple weeks ago, rolled an ankle here, but Chris Middleton went ahead and just reminded everybody tonight who he is. Reminded everybody tonight, look, my name is Chris Middleton, and I have been one of the guys on this squad for the last. Are you good, bro? What you drinking?
Prime?
What you drinking like that, bro?
Wait till we get that sponsorship.
Hey, are you going to drink off camera, bro?
No, I thought you were. I thought you were going to say his middle name, so I was waiting on you to say James or whatever.
James, right?
I was waiting on it, but you didn't hit it for me. So that's why I laughed.
I was going to go with Cash at first, but yeah,
okay.
Nah, right. But I see you drinking on the. Yeah, is that Prime? We get it from the gas station.
Little Prime, yeah, I get the Prime.
Yeah, I was going to say you get to the gas station, right? Hey man, be careful with the gas station. The gas station got the best energy drinks and everything, right? But you go to the men's aisle on the gas station, don't touch those. Better leave them pills alone. They have you in the hospital.
Little Blue Rhino?
Hell no, don't be on that Blue Rhino at the gas station. Bro, you're right. They set the Blue Rhino next to the Windex, right? They be having that over there about it. Yeah, nah, bro, you better leave that thing alone. And we're already off the rails. Anyway, right? Bucks bench tonight. They didn't help. The Bucks bench gave you a grand total of 6 points. I mean, you talk about Beasley being okay with him not playing. Between Beasley, Connaughton, and Crowder, these dudes all gave you 0 points and played 22 minutes combined. And it's like, listen, guys, I'm not asking for a lot, but y'all gotta do something impactful while you're in. It's just crazy. And yeah, man, that overtime, just heartbreaking because this team battled. This was, like you said, a vintage. This is a ESPN classic, a vintage game. This is a game we should have won tonight. And honestly, if we won this game tonight, that puts a lot less pressure on us on Sunday because we don't want to go down 3-1. Right? I get it. I think the Bucks team are head and shoulders better than this Pacers team if the Bucks team are at full strength. But the reality of it now is that you're on the verge of going down 3-1. And that's a tough hole for anybody to climb out.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think tonight was one of those games where I was just engulfed in being a fan, right? You saw the big shots hit by Chris Middleton. Neesmith hit a big one, and then obviously Tyrese for the game. So I think in that aspect, it was a fun game, but very disappointing that they weren't able to climb all the way back and then end up getting the win and closing it out. Some things I saw, I thought Ajax was good. Like you said, he deserves to be out there, and I think we need that spark, that young athleticism that he brings. And, there's obviously going to be some instances where he does mess up. Like, I think he had one where he could have dunked the ball, I think, in the first half, and instead he passes it to Jay Crowder, and he bricks a three. It's just like stuff that comes with experience, and obviously Doc didn't give him that. But at this point, you look down the bench, you might as well leave him out there because the good of Ajax just outweighs the bad for me, and that's why he was a +7. Chris and Dame, my goodness, man, I think they took over in that second half. Chris played well in the first half as well. But I was telling the guys, it's like I thought even before, I think we were down like 17, 16, something like that. I'm like, Chris could go for 40 and make this a game. And he did that.
He did say it.
He did that. And I'm like JT said, I'm just so happy that he's able to get that confidence back. And hopefully we can see some more of that. And it doesn't have to be 42 points like this, but just the hunting matchups that he was doing tonight. Like, it felt like anybody you put in front of him, he was going to score. And I think that was the biggest part for his confidence that needed to be obtained. And then, like I said, Dame just played incredible. And like I tweeted this out too. I can't question the heart and the will he had to stay out there. After the first injury actually looked pretty bad to me. I'm not a doctor or anything, but it looked like that probably stung a little bit, and he came out and looked like it didn't affect him that much. The biggest question I have is he going to stay healthy? How's that knee going to feel, or whatever he hurt going into Sunday? Because I think this is a really important game, a do-or-die game for this Bucks team, and we don't know what Giannis is he going to play? Probably not. I don't know, but I think that's a big storyline going into Sunday as well.
Well, it was a vintage, Chris Middleton performance. That was one of those Chris Middleton Batman performances. That's one of those performances. And that's why it's so hard to feel like you lose that game because, in the first two games, you could make the argument that Dame was the best player on the floor. Siakam did very well, but you can make the argument Dame was the best player on the floor the first two games. And in game three, I don't think there's a question. The best player on the floor in game, to me, was Chris Middleton. Like, he was the best player. So to lose that game when you have the best player on the floor is just tough, and he played like it is tough. It was definitely tough. But those are the breaks. Those are how things go. And again, just a rebound. I see some people in the chat saying that that Doc is coaching his ass off. Come on, dog. He is. But you can't sit there and watch I saw some people on the timeline on Twitter because I was criticizing Doc and they're you can't what are you gonna why is it Doc's fault they're not getting rebounds? Really? I understand that and I totally get that, but last I checked, are you not able to sub guys in and out? Isn't that part of your job? So you don't have to just watch. You don't have to just watch Bobby and Brooke. Look, somebody in the chat said it too. That nine rebounds in 3 games for Brooke Lopez. You're 7'2". You're 9 rebounds in 3 games.
What's crazy about it is it's not like Brooke's always out of position to get rebounds. That's what I'm saying. Brooke is in the mix, right? So if you're going to put that in there, so you can't even really put that on Doc, right? If you're going to talk about from a schematic perspective. Now, what I will say you can put on Doc though is Doc's the type of guy who went down the line and told everybody what their role is, right? Doc's the kind of guy who was very specific about what he wants and what the expectations are. But if Doc's big men are playing like a bunch of Swifties, right, that's a problem. And Doc has not checked that. And I agree with you on that. Like, look, swap them dudes out and throw it. Put Andre Jackson Jr. Put the Nasties. Put guys who are going to get in there and be like, listen, no, I'm going to get these. I'm going to fight for these. I'm going to fight for these loose balls. I'm going to race you halfway across the court to dive on this thing and go ahead and get this possession for my squad. And I just don't think you just don't see that with. Honestly, you don't really see that with Bobby and Brooke. You just don't see that scrappiness. You don't see that level of intensity that you would expect, especially in the playoffs.
Especially from a guy who feeds off energy and flexing and all that. Man, go get a basketball when it's on the ground. I don't flex after you do that. Don't flex after you hit a layup over somebody. Flex when you dive on the ground for a ball. That's the next time I want to see Bobby flex. That's when the crowd don't Bobby because he ran down the court and got a wide open layup dunk. Chant when he dives on the floor, but he doesn't. But for whatever reason, he didn't do it. And we talking about fourth quarter. We talking about overtime of a playoff game. It's 1-1. The winner of game 3 wins the series 80-some% of the time. That's what we talking about. And you just gonna stand there and look. Brook Lopez gonna stand there and look. So no, I agree with you. Schematically, no, it wasn't Doc Rivers' fault. Schematically, you're right. Those guys were in position. They're there, but Indiana wanted the ball more. So Doc Rivers can't put that in your heart. Well, we thought you can do the horse. Hey, look, come on, guys. We got a rebound, guys. You can do all that as much as you want, but at some point they got to go out there and go do it. And the thing is, you have guys that are sitting on the bench who were willing and who did do that. And that was my issue with Doc Rivers, not schematically. I agree with you. My issue was during the game, the guys that brought you back or were part of it, again, +7, +10, AJ Green, Ajax, the guys that were part of bringing you back, you instead opted to go for your veterans down the stretch. That's who Doc Rivers trusted. And he's shown us that time and time again. Those are the people he trusts, and I totally get it. He's a veteran head coach. That's what he's going to do. You got to. That was a mistake. You should have trusted the young guys and the guys that brought you back, and he didn't. And I think I don't think you can argue that was again. If you grab one rebound there, I mean, do you not? Maybe they score, especially when Chris was cooking. You grab a rebound there. Maybe instead of going down, because I can't remember all the sequences now, but at least one of the rebound for overtime. Maybe one of those threes that Chris hit is for a game winner and not to tie it.
But here's my thing though, right? Because now your margin for error is getting really, really, really slim, right? You're down 2-1. You got Sunday's game. If you somehow lose Sunday's game, now your margin for error is nil, right? You have nothing. So the question you ask yourself is, okay, Doc, I know you don't have the trust in some of the young guys here. But the young guys are showing you that they're ready to contribute, they're ready to play, and they're gonna show up and they're gonna ball. They'll play their role, they'll play their part. They're gonna give this team the spark that you need. So now, if you're Doc, do you depart from your philosophy that you've had for let's say the last decade or so, and say, listen, Andre, we got to throw you out there. I'm going to force myself to be comfortable here. Or do you keep doing this game here where you're giving him limited minutes, but then you're making sure that Connaughton, Beasley, and all these other guys who aren't helping you at all or really bringing anything to the table? Do you keep playing him? Basically, is Doc willing to do something different at this point?
Well, so I would say he already is, but I thought he got it wrong today in the sense that he put in Ajax on that last possession, right, with 6 seconds left.
Right.
But I think he's putting him in because he thinks he's a lot more defensive, like just way more equipped defensively instead of being an all-around defensive player. Like he can go grab rebounds and stuff. So I don't think he's hesitant to go to him because he had him in on that last possession. But you got to go earlier, especially with what he did tonight on the floor. And he was just scrappy. He was the athleticism we needed. And maybe I'd argue you might have been able to put him on Haliburton on that last possession too, but I digress.
Let's go to the chat. And we got some interesting stuff in the chat already. Sponsored, of course, by Autograph. Our chat is sponsored by the app Autograph. Again, Autograph is where real fans go to get unreal rewards, bringing the best content for your team in one place. The first app that can recognize and reward fans, turning their passion into access and experiences. Again, the Autograph app, you can get all of your sports content in one place. I think Chris King is going to put the link in the chat here. And again, if you're a fan of the Cream City Crossover, if you love the Cream City Crossover, go ahead, go to this app, go to Autograph app. The link is below. Go to that app, type in the referral code Cream City Crossover. How many words, JT? All one word, no spaces. No spaces. One word. Cream City Crossover. If you're a fan, if you're in this chat, if you like this content right here, please go to the Cream City Crossover. Go to Autograph app and type in the referral code Cream City Crossover. Again, it's great for Bucks fans. All your stuff there. You can get cool prizes and stuff in the app as well. Okay, going to the chat. Sponsored by Autograph. I'll go to a couple of these. So I'm going to disagree with some people here. And this is good. Nothing wrong with disagreeing. Because, again, if you and I thought the same, there wouldn't be a need for one of us. Just saying. Karan Jammer Kenner says, I think y'all are slightly short-sighted in your assessment of Bobby and your takes tonight, fellas. He was a monster on the boards for us tonight. And Mark Gomes it basically gives a cosign. Was he a monster when it mattered? Tyrese Haliburton wasn't great tonight. Again, Tyrese Haliburton was good. He was really good. And again, my thing is stats don't tell the whole story all the time. Did Bobby Portis grab a lot of rebounds? Absolutely. Did he grab the ones that mattered? Nope. When the ones that matter were on the floor, he's standing there looking. When the one, I remember he blew a layup. I mean, again, I'm not saying he didn't put up some numbers. I'm not saying he didn't have good moments. But again, the first quarter, he was as bad gets, offense and defense. He was terrible. He made up for it some in the second half. And did he grab rebounds? Yes, he absolutely did grab some rebounds. But what we're here for are the ones that matter. The ones that matter. At the end of the game, he was nowhere to be found. He was looking at guys. I remember there was one that came off the glass. And I mean, Indiana, I think it was Pascal Siakam running to go get the rebound. Bobby standing there. Bobby thought the ball was going to go out of bounds. Are you going to be the guy that's looking, thinking once the ball careens off the rim, it's going to go out of bounds? Or are you going to be the one that says, well, that ball may go out of bounds, but damn it, I'm gonna go try and get it. I'm gonna go try and stay the basket. That's what Indiana was doing. Bobby Portis wasn't doing that. Excuse me. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Go ahead.
I would also say that nobody was doing that, to be honest.
No, true.
Nobody. So
I'm saying, and that's what you put on Doc. That's what you put on Doc when you talk about team culture. If you wanna argue that, now I think you can put that on Doc and say, listen, yeah. Why are we real lackadaisical here about rebounding, especially offensive? Will we get crushed tonight? What's the difference? We get crushed tonight by like 9 offensive rebounds. Have you pulled that number up?
Let me check it. Let me check and see what the offensive rebound.
But regardless of what the numbers are, like you just could watch, you could just see it. Like nobody out there was. Loose balls.
No, there were people that were. They just weren't in the game at the end of the game. Like that,
right,
like that block that Andre Jackson Jr. had. I mean, again, that's all effort. That's all that block he had. A lot of guys would have gave up on that, but I'm jumping as high as I can. I'm gonna go get this block. All effort for him. The rebound situation, Indiana won the boards by 7. See how many offensive rebounds they had. They had 19 offensive rebounds. The Bucks had 11. So again, the Bucks had 19 offensive boards tonight. Again, that can't happen again. So they were +8 on the offensive glass, and that really hurt the Bucks. Staying in the chat here, our Simon Gonzalez says, 19 offensive rebounds. Heroin enjoyer, that's crazy. Says Pacers shoot 2 for 90 in OT and pull out the W, right? Because they got all the rebounds. You can shoot 2 for 90 when you get every rebound. C-Max says Brooke left with 4 rebounds. King of Kings says Brooke Lopez. I don't know what that is, a chicken wing. Coach Jackson says Pacers in 5. J1 says we got out hustled in OT. Abudrame Diamande says trade him. Setherman says Doc is terrible with calling challenges. Young City says Pat Bev barely touched Hallie on the last play. And then Elms Tyner says Dame got hurt, no call. There's somebody in the chat line. Let me go to the relevance here. Now Mark Gomes says trade stop the cap. That's not on Doc. Sub which guys if rebounds? Andre Jackson Jr. That's what should have been in the game. He led the comeback. He was part of the comeback. That's who you put in the game. Hey, that's one. No, it isn't. Leave Doc alone. We have to have effort. Who coaches that? Who's the coach? Ain't that what they brought him here for? Ain't that what the Bucks ain't giving enough effort? Hell, we might as well keep Angel Griffin. They're not giving enough effort. They're not getting enough effort. Got to take the guy out. That's what we brought Doc Rivers for, to get effort. And he can't do that. So I don't want to hear that. I have 0 issues with lineups. No, man. No. Again, at the end of the game, I don't even know how you think about this. The lineup that got you to where you were supposed to be didn't close the game. And it ended with you guys not getting rebounds. I don't understand. I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand how you go. Guys didn't get rebounds. And you had guys that were out there hustling. Do you think? I just ask one question: does Andre Jackson give more effort than Bobby Portis on a daily basis? Just what you've seen.
Yes.
Does he give more effort? Yeah. Does he give more effort than Brook Lopez?
Yes.
If you had your life savings on it and you said, hey, there's going to be a tough rebound, it's going to cream off the glass. You can pick out of everybody on the Bucks roster, no Giannis. You can pick between either Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, or Andre Jackson Jr. to go get this loose ball. Who are you gonna go with?
Right, well, Andre Jackson Jr.
After I've seen that, that's what I'm putting in. I don't know how to explain it any differently.
So here's the other thing that I find interesting, right? We're all watching, and obviously we are casual fans, and I'm not sure we have access to the analytics and how this actually breaks down, right? As to like who's exactly better than what. But it feels to me like, from a casual fan perspective, we know what we're getting when we put Andre Jackson Jr. in the game, right? It feels very predictable. You're not going to see him jacking up crazy shots or anything. You're going to see him playing his ass off on defense. You're going to see him out there hustling, making every single hustle play, doing everything he possibly can to just make plays, period. And I feel like at that point, there's got to be a level of trust that because you know what you're getting. Look, Brook Lopez has been here for a while. Sometimes Brook Lopez looked 10 years younger. A lot of times, Brook Lopez looked 10 years older, right? Sometimes he wants to play YMCA ball and just spot up for three, not really get his hands dirty like that. Like, man, I'll grab this board if it comes to me, but for the most part, I don't want to. Every once in a while, he wants to, back somebody down, right? Like, either way, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the rationale for not playing Andre Jackson Jr. when you know what he brings you and you know that he fulfills a certain need that this team has.
Yeah, and to me, I think they all looked gassed. Like Pat Bev looked gassed. He was, oh my goodness, when he was he committed like 2 back-to-back fouls and then sent Indiana to the line. Like, what are we doing there? Like,
that was a stupid.
It was like he's trying to feed off the opposing crowd's energy or something. Like, I don't understand what he was doing there. And maybe you do go to Andre Jackson Jr. in those kind of instances where, at least he's fresh and can stay in front of somebody instead of just acting like they play tough defense. And, I think that hurt Pat Bev a little bit. But I think that's just the case of the team. Like, we have those type of veteran players who are going to be gassed, and we need to get the youth in those moments in the game.
Yeah, again, those are 100% the moments. But, I will say I thought that game plan wise, I thought Doc Rivers had a really good game plan. I thought it was solid. It just, like I said, that was my real concern was, the substitution patterns at the end of the game. And again, if people are talking about their gas in the comments, I understand that. But, then, they're mid-30s. We'll get the guys that are in their 20s in the game. I thought Chris Middleton played really good defense tonight. I thought there were moments where Bobby played good defense on Siakam. Again, Andre Jackson Jr. played good defense on Siakam. There was a moment where Pat Bev had to guard Siakam. Like, the Bucks they had some really good effort moments throughout the game. So I know it feels like we're killing them a lot right now, but I mean for a majority, I mean there were a lot of really good positives to take away from this basketball game. I mean, I see people in the chat. I'm not even gonna get into Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder and Malik Beasley. I don't know. I don't know what the hell either one of them are doing. But they're just not contributing. But
which, by the way, that trade. How many picks did we trade for Jay Crowder? It made sense, but
second round. I mean, it wasn't second round. I'm not mad at it.
But sir, that is a negative return on investment. I'll tell you that. That is 100% a negative return on investment for Jay Crowder. Remember last year, Bud was doing kind of the red shirt thing when he wasn't playing because Jay Crowder had sat out for 6 months, and then we got him in here, and I don't even think we played him in the playoff series like that. And then this year, hadn't looked all that great, had a couple moments, but now it's like, Jay Crowder, we brought you here. We thought, remember last year we was running around talking about, we got the perimeter secure, we got Jay Crowder, we got this, and like, he's just a guy now.
Yeah, I think the injury really hurt him too.
I got you.
Kind of like how, because he remember the beginning of the season he was playing decent, and then it kind of fell out, and he never got it back on track.
First couple months,
yeah. Dez N94 says Brook is tall for nothing. Let's go to the Twitter. And again, always some fun thoughts from the Twitterverse. Let's see what we got here.
At He-Man Twitter in public at this point. You're like mess.
You can't. Well, yeah. You also, Kanye is having is having Kanye.
Is Kanye making a website, a channel?
That's what I heard. The funny part is people are like that's like the last straw for Kanye fans. I don't understand. People are all mad at that. Like he had done other problematic things, and like they defended him through all that. But no, this is too far. I'm like, damn, this. I mean, if he wants to go ahead. He Manson says rebounding killed us. If Ajax was in instead of Pat Bev in that second OT, we win. Second OT. Porter's still so weak. Did he go to 2 OTs?
No.
It was only one of them. Yeah, it was one of them. Okay. Yeah, okay.
The final minutes of the fourth felt like an OT, though.
Yes, it kind of did. But yeah, it says Porter's still so weak. Dame didn't shoot any OTs. And I think somebody in the comments actually said that Doc Rivers during his presser said that Dame told Doc his Achilles was bothering him and he wanted to be a decoy because he had no explosion. So again, something to watch for that for the next game.
At all of that. Wasn't Dame's Achilles hurting earlier this year too?
I think so.
I'm not sure if he had an
Achilles. Towards the end of the
Achilles
season, I'm pretty sure there was something about something with his Achilles that wasn't right. I don't know.
That's the thing. I mean, you had to keep him out there because otherwise they're doubling Chris, and then if that's gonna happen, then you're cooked because nobody else can make shots. So I mean, he had to be a decoy, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if Dame Achilles is bad, and if Giannis's calf is bad, somebody in the strength and the conditioning department need to be on the hot seat. That's who you really need to be looking at is some athletic trainers and the folks in the strength and conditioning department as to why the hell are my superstars having lower body extremity injuries this late in the damn season, right? If Dame's Achilles is tight, hey, somebody on the strength staff, boy, that LinkedIn need to be open to work ASAP.
I think somebody in the chat. Let me know. I think her name's like Suki, who's like the same name Suki, who's the
right. Suki, right? Give me Charles. Give me Chuck. Give me Marianne. Right? Give me that. I need an athletic trainer. I need somebody else. Get Suki about the point. Give me Corona.
At C3, that dude Clark says if Giannis is back by Game 5, the Bucks are winning the series. Again, I don't know if Giannis is gonna be back by Game 5. And again, I disagree. Giannis get back for Game 5. If you're down 3-1, I don't know if you win the series if Giannis back Game 5. I don't know that at all. At Drew Bander says good effort, but still can't win this series without Giannis. At Alex Engel 12 says fundamentals were lost tonight. Not boxing out, not getting rebounds in the clutch. Indy wasn't making anything, but they wanted it more at the end with pure effort plays. Justin MKE says Pat Bev's playing way too many minutes this series. Love the heart, but he's just not getting the job done. At Barpaid says Brook Lopez needs to be gone, bro. I'm not watching another game with him on my team. At Class of Now says Brook Lopez, thank you for the memories, but it's time to go. 7 feet and you end the game with 4 rebounds is absolutely embarrassing. It ended up being one of the reasons we lost the game. Gave up too many offensive rebounds. I'll read a couple more here. At GA_hoop says rebound a damn ball. Chris gave you everything he got in the tank. I hate Dame foul baiting, but I applaud his effort with the injury. Now we find out how bad Giannis is hurt with his status for Game 4. And then last one says at Rocco1453 says rebounding pathetic. The possession when we gave up 6 rebounds cost the game. Chris almost bailed him out. So again, all the comments are talking about kind of what we talked about here. That possession where the Bucks didn't get those boards, that was the problem. That was that I don't want to say that was the game, but it certainly felt like it. It absolutely felt like it.
Yeah, it did, and I just think that the effort was something that we've questioned all year. And, it's not surprising at all that it came back to bite us in a game like this. And we've been pointing out Brook Lopez not rebounding the ball all regular season too, and it comes back to bite you. So it's just stuff like that you've got to clean up. You should never have to question your effort, no matter how old these guys are, and your want to win. And tonight they just didn't have it as much as the Pacers did.
Yeah, no. Again, it just – like I said, it puts a bad, a bad taste in your mouth, for sure. And again, they're gonna be talking about Tyrese Haliburton for his heroics there. I was just watching that. So So hold on. Indiana had 32 second chance points. That's 32 second chance points for Indiana tonight. That's the fourth most in any game in the last 25 postseasons. That's how bad it was giving up second chance points. It was a historic night for the Indiana Pacers and what they did to the Bucks on the glass. So I think our next thing we talk about is Chris Middleton. The Chris Middleton being back. I mean, I ain't gonna take a long time. Chris was great. I mean, Chris was absolutely, he was great tonight. And I know, again, a lot of people, watch live, but most of our viewers come on the replay. Let me not, get out of this or get through this without talking about how good Chris Middleton was. Chris, I'm laughing. How good Chris Middleton was, how he played, all effort. Again, that was the threes that he made at the end. Again, it reminded me of that Boston shot he had in like 2017 with like Boston shot was like 0.3, I was like maybe it was like 0.6 on the clock. And they passed in, he hit that, he heaved one from three, then he hit another three, and then Haliburton wins the game. But I mean, Chris Middleton clutch, the shooting was great, the playmaking was great, and Indiana didn't have any answers for him throughout the night. I mean, he literally looked like the best player on the floor. So again, my hats off to Chris. I don't have a bad thing to say about how Chris Middleton played. And again, he's on one wheel too. He's really on one wheel too. And so again, I don't want to get too far into the weeds about the postseason and what's going to happen, or not postseason, but the offseason and what's going to happen. But originally, I'll say this. Originally, I was thinking, Dame, Giannis, run it back, and everybody else can go. I mean, Chris is showing you he's still, he's come to play in these playoffs, and he still has some get up in the tank.
Yeah, Chris showed up with the Lank sweatshirt, the Lank chain, and the Lank hat tonight, right? And he 100% did, and he and message received. And this felt kind of good to watch him. That is vintage Chris Middleton, right? That's a guy we have not seen in a while. And you just saw big shot after big shot, especially very late in that game from Chris Middleton. And I just wish we would have won this one for him. I really do, because the way he was playing, this just had the makings of the Bucks stealing this game in Indy, and it just didn't go down the way we needed it to. But and side note, you see Caitlin Clark in that little go-kart or whatever that is, little Indy.
It was the Indy
driving cars,
Indy,
starting a little
yeah,
thing or whatever. Yeah, man, they're gonna, Hey, man.
I also say I thought the Indy crowd was trash. Like all the talk that Haliburton had about how they was gonna, the regular season. I mean, they weren't even hyped when the game first started. I mean, it's like Indiana. They take on. To me, they took on the identity of their team. Bunch of front runners. They didn't start cheering. They were so it was quiet when the game started. Then they start cheering all out once they started getting the first quarter. Once they started rolling, and then throughout the middle of the, I mean, it sounded like a very regular season atmosphere throughout the majority of that game, especially third and fourth when they realized, the Bucks coming. They didn't rally behind the team. It was nothing, and then all of a sudden, Haliburton hits the game winner, and they going crazy. I thought their effort was pathetic. I thought it was bad. I didn't appreciate their crowd. To me was not good at all.
Yeah, they were shook when Dame hit those back-to-back threes to give us the lead, and I just think that. Yeah, you're right. They're front runners. It is what it is. I'll say this on Chris too. It reminded me of the Boston game where he hits that in 2017, where he hit that 1-3 from, I think it was a tie it up and go to OT, and then they end up losing that one too. So it's unfortunate how similar those games are. But it was good to see him cooking, especially once Dame was pretty much a non-factor because of the injury. So hopefully it gets his confidence back and allows him to realize that he can cook pretty much anybody on the Pacers. Like nobody had an answer.
And that's exactly what you want to see. Let's move on, and we're gonna ask this question, and I wonder what the chat's going to say as well. And the question is this, fellas: is the series over? Is this thing is it done? Like, what do you think is going to happen? I guess my thing here is like. There's a lot of questions going to be asked about Dame's Achilles and whether he's going to be at 100% or what he's going to be feeling like. Can he come out and produce in the next game? Questions about Giannis. Again, I don't feel like he's going to play. So we'll see how that goes. But here's what I'll say. All things considered, let me again. I don't want to speculate on injuries because I don't know. I'm gonna say let's pretend this same team is going to be out there, right? That Damian Lillard is going to be able to play at a high level, okay? And no Giannis. If Giannis was back, I'd 100% think the Bucks can win this. I actually, if Giannis was back, I would not be surprised if the Bucks,
One out.
Reeled off,
Yeah.
and won this thing 4-2. But with no Giannis, tonight to me, I was optimistic because again, you found things schematically that worked for you. Chris Middleton was cooking, and not only that, but you weathered. It wasn't like the Bucks were like, it was nip and tuck all game. The Bucks were down for most of that game. The Bucks were down 18 points as soon as the game tipped off. I mean, the Bucks showed a lot of mental fortitude to get themselves back in that game. There's so many times where I'll be honest, I didn't think they were gonna get over the hump. Like when they were down 10, 11, 12, 9, they just couldn't ever get over the hump. If you get to 9, it's a turnover. You get it back, then they run it back up to 13. And you get it back to 9, dribble off your foot, throw the ball out of bounds, take a bad shot. All those things happen, and then in the fourth quarter, that 9 turned to 7, and then 5, and then Damian Lillard hit 3, goes to 2, and you start getting yourself into this game. It's to me what I'll say is I think the Bucks found some things that work. I think if I'm the Bucks, I would feel optimistic that I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna watch that film and say, damn, we left a lot of things up for this. Again, I'm not forget just the rebounds that those are like the big picture things that you missed, and you could have had. How many open threes did they give up? How many look at that first half and think about how things could have been better and how you could have played. So if I'm the Bucks and I see the way we played tonight, my thought process would be, okay, you're right. It's gonna be do or die, backs against the walls. Man, we why wouldn't you feel like you can go get one in game 4? Why wouldn't you feel like the Indiana Pacers should have won that game? And Kendrick Perkins at halftime was talking about, how are they not up? The Pacers should be up 25. The Bucks can get game 4 even without Giannis in Indiana, and then you reevaluate from there. It's a 3-game sprint to the finish.
I don't think we're done. I don't think we're cooked, and some of that might be because I could be in denial, but I agree with you. I saw some promising things tonight, right? I saw this team fight. I saw this team scrapping. And again, I was thinking we was going to sit up here and tell these folks again, hey, we take these gritty with the pretty, right? And I just knew it was coming. And it didn't. But, I think, again, the questions that we had before, the questions we have now, who's going to step up outside of Giannis and Dame, right? In this case, Giannis isn't there, but Dame. And you saw Chris be that guy tonight, right? So next game, who's going to be Chris again? Is it not? Is it fair to rely on Chris to be that guy? Just questions you got to ask yourself, right? Tonight, every single starter, double figures. Even Pat Bev gave you something, right? And we don't really look to him to really do that offensively. He did that. Side note, every starter on the Pacers was double figures tonight too. There's a whole lot of scoring going around. Having said that, though, I think if you do look at the lack of hustle and the lack of rebounding, and even the chat's been saying it. You can't scheme for that. That's an execution thing. That's an execution thing. So if you're Doc, you gotta start putting your foot in people's butts, right, and getting them right. You get what I'm saying, right? If you're Doc, you got to go ahead. You got a lot of fire under people and be like, listen, intensity, aggression, play. And you guys have said it. We haven't done that all year. So how do you change a culture overnight? I'm not really sure, but that's the stuff that's going to kill you, right? Like that's the stuff that's a large reason why we lost tonight is because we were not as aggressive, because we didn't get bourses. We didn't chase after. We didn't make that extra effort. We didn't match the Pacers' intensity.
It's not over. No way. Because I refuse to believe that Damian Lillard is not going to go out and perform on Sunday, regardless of how he's feeling. I think, like we talked about this before the show, but if Embiid's out there with cortisone all up his left side and paralyzed on his left side of his face, I know Dame's going to give us at least one more before Giannis comes back, and then he's kind of the load gets taken off of him a little bit. And so I think the Bucks. The Bucks really get out there on Sunday. They fix some minor mistakes. The effort level rises because their backs are against the wall. They have the right leaders in the locker room to do it. And you just got to get this one. Like, you cannot go down 3-1. But if it's 2-2, you can lose at home and be down 3-2, and I still have the confidence to go and rattle 2 off, 1 at Indy, and then the last one at home in Game 7. But for right now, I don't think this series is over. I think we still got a lot of basketball to play this season and in this series.
Yeah,
can we agree that Sunday is a must? We gotta win Sunday.
Yeah,
we
no, it's
not want to lose. Like Sunday, whatever it is, we have got to win. And Damian Lillard, I certainly hope they get him a little knee scooter or something. No pressure on that leg. Let that man rest. Give him as much treatment and recovery as you can. The way he plays, the aggressive play, and the level that he's taken it to in this series. I mean, the last thing I want to hear is about him having a bad Achilles tendon. That's not something you play with, right? Because usually when it's that risk of tearing is a different problem altogether. So hopefully they give him treatment. They keep him off his feet. Let him get some rest, and he's good to go. Because I just think that, the risk in tearing that's potentially career altering for guys. Didn't Brandon Jennings tear his Achilles?
Yeah, I think he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that was basically the end of his career. Like, he lost that explosion, and his career. He never really recovered. He wasn't good anymore. He really wasn't good anymore.
Yeah, you don't play with that. You definitely don't play with that Achilles. But let's just pray that there was maybe some tightness, some stiff, something there. Dame feels a bit better and is back to himself on Sunday, because we're gonna need him. We're gonna 100% gonna need Dame to go out there and do Portland things, right? We're gonna need Dame. We're gonna need the game to get out there and do, like I said, Portland things, or Game 1 and Game 2 things on Sunday if we're gonna have a chance, especially if we don't have Giannis out there.
And think about this too, right? 2 of 10 in the first half from Damian Lillard. He heats up in that second half. Look, now this is because he probably had the injury. He was a little slow, a little hobbled in that first half. But, if he puts together once again like he did in Game 1 and Game 2, or he didn't really put together 2 full games, I guess. But if he starts out hot like that on Sunday and is able to continue what he has shown he's been able to do with Chris scoring at a high level too, I just think that the Bucks have a real shot at winning on Sunday.
They definitely have a shot. And again, I will give Indiana some credit, because as much as I want to talk about the scheme the Bucks had and how they played a very good brand of basketball to get themselves back in the game, on the same hand, Indiana, they could have folded once. They could have folded as well once it was determined that the Bucks took Pascal Siakam out of the game. Like, they've had a game plan to run everything through Pascal. And the Bucks did a really good job. Again, they were much tighter to Pascal. You saw him throw some digs. Saw him throw some doubles. And Pascal didn't, he didn't force it. I thought so. Again, I thought Pascal, again, he did a really good job tonight. Even though, again, he was 17 points on 17 shots. The Bucks defended him much differently. And to his credit, he didn't get to this thing where I'm playing hero ball. I gotta take 25 shots and they ain't going. The Bucks. He basically gave the Bucks their credit, swung the ball, and then you talk about all the players in double figures. That was why, because Pascal was very unselfish. I think even the last one where they got the 3-ball to basically, I guess this is before the 3-ball to put Indy up 3 before Chris came back and tied it, and then right before Haliburton.
It was at the end of the shot clock.
Right, and that was off of a Pascal Siakam. And at that point, the Bucks had stopped doubling Siakam. And they had really been playing him one-on-one late in that fourth. And then on that last possession, they chose to send a double. Pascal passed out of it late in the game. And I can't remember who hit the 3?
Neesmith.
That was Neesmith? Yeah, a guy who, a corner 3, which, again, you tip your hat to, because I think that was the right play to make. Like, let's get it out of his hands and see if we can get here. Again, it was just unfortunate, the timing of it. But I will say, again, I thought the Bucks had a really good game plan, and I thought that Indiana adjusted well to the game plan. The Bucks just didn't have enough there. And again, and that's why I can't go to the game plan. Half of the game to me was lost in that first quarter, where they got themselves down by such a big amount, and then the other half was late and they cannot secure a rebound. Because again, I just don't know how differently that game could have gone if the Bucks grab one of those rebounds down the stretch, and you just don't know how that thing could have played out.
And you're gonna live with some of those shots that they made too, even throughout the game. Like being a Dayton fan, knowing Obi Toppin, you'll live with him taking mid-range jumpers, and he hit a couple of those and hit a couple threes. So like they made some shots that really typically they don't. And so, yeah, I can't fault the game plan. It's just, like you said, the rebounding was abysmal, but hopefully that fixes itself just by, like I said, having the veteran presence and the leadership in that locker room.
And again, here's the thing. I mean, I'm looking at the Bucks. The Bucks won the second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. They lost the first in overtime, and they lost overtime by 3 points in the first. So again, you have to start fast. You can't give up 39 points in the first quarter. You only scored 22. Like that was a huge difference in this game. And the Bucks, again, I give them credit for battling back. I think you should feel good. I think to your point, JT, you said at the beginning that Indiana should feel good as well because, or at least I wouldn't say the Bucks should feel deflated, but that was a game you could have won, and you could have almost said, "Whoo, sigh of relief." You stole one on the road in Indiana to get home court back. But yeah, back against the walls. I mean, you got to like if I think that Indiana should know, man, this is not the NCAA tournament anymore. These are the playoffs. Like this does not look like the same team that you were just able to run up and down the court and dominate. All regular season. Like it's not happening like that. And again, you don't have Giannis, so I mean, you should. I don't know. I'm not. I don't think it's over though. I think the Bucks have a really good chance of winning on Sunday, and they just got to go out and play like it. Like that's that. At the end of the day, that's what you have to do. You have to play hair on fire and go win a basketball game on the opposing home floor.
But again, like you said, and like I said earlier too, but the Bucks the margin of error is getting thin. It's certainly getting thin. Like you as this game goes on, because we said the next game we got to treat this like a must win. You cannot go down 3-1. You cannot go, especially with stars being with the potential of two stars being out. Side note. Does anybody have an update on Giannis? I know he was doubtful. They moved him to out. Have they said anything about the potential of him playing on Sunday? Are they still kind of playing this coy?
No, I don't think there's been an update. I think that he's been doing more and more each day. Again, from my knowledge, as of yesterday, I don't know about today. As of yesterday, he still wasn't running or doing anything like that. So, So again, I don't know what he did today. I don't know what he's going to do for Saturday. But again, I think there's a real possibility that not only does he, I think there's a real possibility that he doesn't play the series. And again, I could show you guys a text that I got from who told me on April 16th before the series started. And I didn't share this with anybody because I didn't even want it to be true. But the text was a birdie told me that Giannis isn't going to play the entire first round, and
damn.
And again, and I don't know. Again, you never know how people are going to recover and how they're going to feel. But it was just one of those things where it's amazing. And I didn't know if that was all the way true because I'm getting it from really. That's not secondhand. That's almost like third-hand knowledge that I'm hearing it from. But it clearly is true because Shams then reported that he wasn't running, and that's what I heard as well, that he's still not running. So. Again, I don't know, but I do think again if Giannis can play at all, he can get out there, and I think if he can miraculously start running by tomorrow, I mean, there's no way he doesn't give it a go. I wouldn't think, but I don't think this is one thing. I think this is what I was going to say. I think a lot of people talked about it as if the Bucks were like saving Giannis, or there was this thought that they're going to preserve him and his health. It's not that. Even at this point, maybe it will be, but it's not that at this point. Like saving him for another year or next year, he legitimately cannot go.
Gotcha. And we view him right as the bionic man because we've seen the man on one leg drop 50 points in Game 6, right, against the Suns a few years ago. But yeah, I mean, this injury, you say it's typically 2 to 4 weeks. I agree that you just never know what's going to happen there. And if he's not running, that's not good. So okay, I think we can assume he's not going to be back on Sunday. And honestly, I got to ask the question of, even if he were to come back, how much would he have, right? What would he have in him if he played on Sunday? The other thing about Giannis is the way he plays the game, the level of aggression. Giannis only knows one speed. That's 100 miles an hour. So I do wonder if you're holding him out in part to save him from himself because you think that, hey, he's not 100%. He has a chance of injuring, of basically re-injuring that leg just because of how he plays, how hard he plays, and he's not going to be smart about it. It's just not his thing.
I think the good thing we have going for us is that we saw what we can do to them without Giannis, though. In game one, we saw that our firepower can just light them up. And so I think we have to come out with the aggression and mentality to punch first. That way we can kind of coast to a win instead of playing from behind all the time and just trying to get in track meets with these guys and be back and forth all game. Like, we know we can really take the series, take these games one by one, and especially back against the wall. I like our chances.
Yeah, it is what it is, and that was tough. So, and then Mark Gomes says Woj is reporting on this NBA pregame show. Yeah, I don't know what Woj said. I didn't hear what Woj did. What did Woj say? I don't know. You guys, let me know. He's saying. Let me see. Woj said game 6 or 7. Is that what Woj said?
Wow, we gotta get it there.
So I'm just looking. Mark Gomes says Woj equals game 6 or 7. So maybe that's the earliest. And when would game 6 is? Game 5 is Sunday. So when would game 6 be? Would that be Tuesday? Because there's a travel day.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday,
I believe.
so
Or Tuesday or Wednesday,
Sunday.
1 and 2.
Yeah, so I don't know, but again, it does seem like he's increasing his workload, but just isn't running yet. All right, man, it was a 121-118 loss. Tyrese Haliburton on that last play. Again, I think that my thing was, I just think the Bucks probably. I understand not putting Ajax on Haliburton in that moment. I get it. I just think my only thing is I think you can't let Haliburton get a running head of steam when it's a tie game. If the Bucks were up 3, I would have felt much better about that. Or if you were up 2, and that's kind of, I think you're in a different position. But at that point, I think you have to be more aggressive than defensive and on your heels because the game is tied. Like any bucket, anything loses you the game. And so I felt like when that ball got in the backcourt, it's almost like, and again, I know Haliburton's not Giannis, but if somebody threw the ball in the backcourt to Giannis and you didn't try to stop it, you're going to give Giannis a full head of steam. And I get it. Again, Haliburton's not Giannis, but I would have probably liked, and I'm probably nitpicking here, but I think I would. I remember thinking once it happened, man, I wish Pat Bev was going to go in the backcourt and defend him because when you're running downhill like that, there's just too many ways you can go. You almost have to just guess correct. That's almost like he was almost like on a one-man fast break because the court was spread out. I think Miles Turner was somebody was screening at midcourt, and I think they were screening Chris Middleton. So it might not have been Miles Turner, but somebody was screening at half court. And and Haliburton didn't really take the screen. So, but he just had too many goes. When you run downhill like that, I can go. If you move one way, I can go straight. I can cross. I can do it. He had too many ways he could go, and Pat Bev just got turned around and didn't stay in front of him. And you just have a much better opportunity at that if you're following him in the backcourt. Now, again, the other logic is, well, if he loses, Haliburton quite easily could have gotten around Pat Bev in the backcourt, and then you have nobody there. So I get all those trains of thoughts, but that was kind of how I felt about that. Any thought on?
Yeah, no,
Haliburton?
I already said it. I thought Ajax could kind of check that because, he played good defense, and he's the younger guy than Pat Bev. Pat Bev played like I said, I think he's sometimes a fake tough guy, fake defender. And I think we saw a little bit of that tonight, with the touch fouls and everything like that. So it would have been nice to see Ajax get that opportunity in that moment. And he's played defense at high levels throughout the season. In college, he did it against talent like that. So, it would have been nice, but it is what it is at this point. Can't change it. We'll go to game 4 and we move.
We move game 4.
We move.
So let's do it. Let's do game balls here tonight. 121-118. Bucks lose it. Who are you giving game ball to?
Is there any question? It's got to go to Chris Middleton tonight. 100%. Chris Middleton gets my game ball. Well deserved, sir.
That's probably like the one time you can do that, JT. I'll allow it.
What? Allow what? What did I do?
We lost. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to pause me. I was like, wait, hold on.
Hit a game winner, and Chris Middleton getting the game ball. Go ahead.
For
Chris
me,
Middleton can't get the game ball?
No, not when somebody get a game winner on you. You get a game ball, you lost the game.
I know.
Hey, y'all playing right now. Y'all really are playing right now.
Not
okay.
playing.
No,
that's what we doing?
I know.
We not going to put some respect on Chris's performance?
Yeah, no, I mean.
Oh, no, it was a great performance. They just didn't win the game.
If
the Bucks won, he would have got it.
So now we're gonna be bitter. Okay, I get it.
Hey, he got a segment. I know you'll go probably Haliburton. So what I'm gonna do is.
Obi Toppin.
No, I can't. Like I said, I already used it. He played well in the first half, though. If there was a first half game ball, it'd go to him. Where I would go with this, I think it has to be.
That's a long neck on that tree.
It has to be Nembhard, just for like as aggressive as he was on the offensive. I don't even know what these guys are doing in the background, but it was Nembhard. I'll talk to you guys. It was Nembhard for me. Six on that possession where they had six offensive rebounds. He went crazy. And
so Nembhard. So hold on, you knocked me for the Chris Middleton pick.
That is crazy. That's crazy.
Nembhard for the game ball.
No, Nembhard was a catalyst in getting all those second chance opportunities.
Right.
Yeah, he was.
Listen, okay, the game ball tonight is going to Tyrese Haliburton. The man had a triple-double, 18, 10, and 16. He was 8 of 22, 1 of 12 from 3, so he tried to shot a tornado from behind the arc. But he was a game high plus 16 for both teams. Game high plus 16, and he hit a game winner in 45 minutes tonight. There's no question.
Who got those rebounds when Haliburton was shooting 1 of 12 from 3 and he missed like 2 in a row in crunch time? That was Nembhard, baby. Yeah. So
you know one of those.
Is it Nembhard or Nembhard?
It's Nembhard.
Andrew.
All right.
One of those, one other rebounds that was terrible was McConnell. Somebody airballed a 3, and Brooks was standing there, and McConnell. But it's just like, dog, like, what are y'all looking at? Yeah. I know sometimes they get these long rebounds, you can't get to them, but it's just like, how does TJ McConnell get in there?
I will say that's what a lot of them felt like, though. It was like just the long rebounds.
But how all of them going to Indiana? How are you not getting in on them?
You're right, but I'm just saying that's just what a lot of the rebounds were. But, yeah, Brook Lopez, go grab something, man. You're 7'2", bro. But, yeah, go ahead.
Bucks losing 121-118. Let's look around the NBA, things that are going on. Did you see the game last night? Philly and New York, the Philadelphia 76ers get the dub. Joel Embiid, 50 points and he's got Bell's palsy revealed. He puts up 50. But a lot of Knicks fans upset because, he pulled, I think it was Mitchell Robinson, midair, grabs him, pulls him. And, again, a lot of people just upset. I think Embiid got a flagrant 1 for that. A lot of people thought he should have got a flagrant 2 and been ejected. I'll say this. I think that it was a dirty play from Joel Embiid. It shouldn't happen. I know why he did it, and I think he mentioned it. He did it because he got hurt. Last time he got hurt, somebody fell on his knee. And so he's on the ground. Mitchell Robinson's jumping up trying to get a dunk layup. And, Mitchell Robinson had a very good chance of landing on Joel's leg. And so Joel, even though it's a dirty play, I don't know if it's instinctive or what, his first instinct was anybody's around my leg, get him away from me. And he pulls and pushes him. I don't know if it should have been a flagrant 2. I think it's tough to call that in a playoff game. I think it's very tough to make that call in a playoff game. But especially a game where the game before that, they didn't call a foul on the Knicks, and they won the game, somewhat because there weren't any fouls called. So I don't know, but again, what you guys think about that? And again, this series is 2-1. Philly's got themselves in it, and got a chance to tie the series up. Any thoughts?
No, listen, to be honest, I really haven't been paying attention to that series, so I can't. I
didn't see it. Okay.
No, I'm
no, on the play specifically, it just sucks that Mitchell Robinson got hurt. Like you said, I get what he was trying to do, but Yeah, incredible performance once again. Joel Embiid it's crazy. He actually came back. Like, we were still questioning earlier on when he did get hurt if he would even be back. And he is in full force, like an MVP season like he had last year. So, yeah, I mean, I still think the Knicks will probably win it just because he really doesn't have any help. But that's been the story of his whole career. And then when he gets injured for good, then it's over with. But yeah, that's what I saw. I was really paying attention to the Lakers and Nuggets, and I just can't believe that the Nuggets own the Lakers like that. It's honestly disheartening to see Bron end his career like this, just getting owned by Jokic.
We can talk about that Lakers series.
D'Lo was trash too.
D'Lo was horrible, and he was on his phone during the game. He was on his phone.
Was that confirmed? I saw that, but was
there's a video. Yeah, well, I looked like he was on his phone during. Well, he definitely wasn't paying attention to the huddle. And so that was bad. And you're right. I mean, yeah, the Denver Nuggets just outclassed these guys. And again, how about Denver? And talk about roster construction, right? You have Aaron Gordon, who is going. Talk about a guy who is going after every rebound. Aaron Gordon's doing that. LeBron looked lost defensively off ball. Aaron Gordon's sliding behind him, getting easy buckets in the dunker spot. So you have those type of things going on. And then, again, it's just a great. They just counteract everything so well. So beside Jamal Murray, you then you have a slow joker. You put a athletic big with him in Aaron Gordon. And then Jamal Murray, not the best defender. You put a good defender in Kentavious Caldwell-Pope beside him. And then to round that, and then you have your two stars in Murray and Joker. And then to round it all out, you got Michael Porter Jr., who is 6'10", shoots over everybody, and, is, again, just a really good player. Like, he just does a little bit of everything, can score the ball, can pass the ball a bit. And, again, he's a drop-dead shooter. Again, I'll tell you, I don't know that anybody can beat the Denver Nuggets, and that's the Bucks included. I don't know if the Bucks can beat Denver anyway.
Trey, real quick, Taylor, PNW Taylor, the one that we've had some battles with.
What's up with Taylor?
But Taylor is in the chat, and I think we're making amends. He says, I'm starting to mess with your tweets a lot more, TBH, brutal loss. He said, we've had our battles early on, but I've agreed with a lot more of what you've been saying these playoffs. Hey, give it up for Taylor. We all recognize that, maybe we're a little harsh, but we are also in good conscience. That's what
I don't know why I don't see that one, but I'll say it, and I did notice that, and it's funny, some of the Dame bros have followed me back, have started to follow me again. But I'll say this again. I think and I talked about Bobby. It was never about Dame in the first, and again I never hated Dame. Again, go look up my tweets when he first came. Like, I thought it was gonna be a championship. But, like, it's never about hating Dame. It was always about just holding people accountable for what they had to do on the floor. And, again, I don't ever feel any type of way because, again, I talked about Bobby Porter. I don't care who you are. If you're not performing, you're not performing. If you're playing well, you're playing well. Even on a night like tonight where Damian Lillard, slow first half, I would – again, it's almost like credit, JT. It's like credit. Like, when you build up good credit, hey, ain't about, I'm cool. You get more of a leash. Right? You have a good credit score. When you apply for that card, they're gonna give you more, right? You make more, they're gonna give you. So that was what was happening when Dame first got to the Bucks. He didn't establish his credit very well with the Bucks. And I get it. I get what you did in Portland, but those things, I think people forgave a lot. But he didn't play well with the Bucks. Didn't like it was meshing, gelling. Coach gets fired. It looks like a lot of bad. And then but what we talk, it's all about the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So the playoffs, Damian Lillard's been everything and more. So I don't have anything bad to say. I know Damian Lillard, he didn't particularly shoot the ball well in the first half today, but again, I knew he was gonna come around, and he came around very well in the second half and did a great job.
The way I see it,
and then on top of it, he showing the extra effort. He's hurt, got the Achilles injury, but hey, I'll be a D. Hey, don't take me out. I'll be a D. I love all that. I love it.
Hey,
I love it.
you know what? And I agree. I know we ran into some. It was a bit of a conflict with us and some of the the Dame fans from Portland. But the reality of it is this: I agree with you. He has shown up and he has been 100% what we traded for and what we expected in the playoffs. And you know what? Even before these playoffs popped off, you heard Damian Lillard come out and say, "No, I'm happy here." And I came out and he just went ahead and dispelled all the rumors and the nonsense of Stephen A. Smith and everybody else. And he was like, "I love my situation here." And that was what you wanted to see was him outwardly saying, "No, I'm locked in. I'm here." And he may have done that before too, but he did it. The timing of him doing that and then him coming out to the playoffs and playing his absolute heart out. And there's no questions or anything about that, man. Everything that Dame has done over these last 3 games 100% outweighs anything that goes down in the regular season. And when it's time to go to war, Damian Lillard has showed y'all, look, he is about it with this Buck squad. So, man, we good. I think, and I like some of the discourse from Bucks Twitter, but I think we just got to remember it's all the same squad. Everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants a championship, wants the best for this team. So, man, PNW Taylor, any of those guys, man, jump in, man. Join the chat, right? Join the chat. Whatever. It's no need to have a beef or issues. We can all have discourse, but at the end of the day, we're all on the same team.
Yeah, and I think the biggest part of it is just we all want the Bucks to win. And by the first couple minutes of the first quarter in game 1, we could tell Damian Lillard was here to do just that. And so that's all. He's good in my book, and he'll be good for as long as he's a Milwaukee Buck and as long as he plays basketball, because I recognize that he is a different animal in the playoffs. And it's been a pleasure to see a point guard like that for this Milwaukee Bucks team when you haven't had somebody who could score at that type of level. He brings a different animal to this Bucks team. I'm so glad he's here. So, and then he just popped back in and said, respect all around. Hope they don't surround hope they surround the big 3 with some help, and we can make a real run at this.
So I want to go back to the comments about Damian Lillard from Doc Rivers. Doc said, I think it's his Achilles, so we'll see. Honestly, Damian's really struggling in OT. He literally said, I'll be the decoy. I just can't go as far as explosions. So I thought Dame just being out there was huge for us. After the game, Damian Lillard, this is all from Eric Name. After the game, Damian Lillard clarified that his Achilles aggravation occurred. There's a video of the play, and this is actually not very good because it wasn't in that first quarter. This was in the fourth quarter. And I mean, if you look at the play, it was almost kind of like the Giannis thing. Not as much like when I was jogging the floor and then but like it was a very routine thing Damian Lillard's doing. And, he aggravates his Achilles. He's trying to go for a steal and aggravates his Achilles. And that's not good. So Damian Lillard was asked if he thought he had enough to get right and play Sunday. He says, that's the plan. I think tonight it was just so fresh, just re-aggravated after having a whole week where you could kind of get it together. But I wanted to be on the floor in case some opportunity came up, however I could help. Obviously tonight we're going to get back and just have to get ahead of it because that's not something you want to play with. It's one of the spots in your body where you literally can't do nothing about it. If you can't move, you can't move. So we got a couple days tonight to get ahead of it and just get it feeling better. Try to get ready on Sunday. So again, Warrior like effort from Damian Lillard in his comments there.
I don't know about y'all though, man. I just feel like I would have loved to see these two play in the playoffs, and I just would love to see that opportunity to see Dame and Giannis just dominate this Pacers team and shut these dudes up in the playoffs. And I am just hoping, I am just holding out hope, right? There's a whole lot of hope. I am holding out hope.
Yeah,
I am that like we can get these guys back in the playoffs, and I think Dame and Giannis would absolutely cook against the Knicks too. But anyway, that's not there nor here.
Well, so I'll say this about Damian Lillard though, it's so fitting for these playoffs that he injured it on a defensive play. Like he's played good defense too. He's given his all out there.
There was a play that I think did he steal the ball from Hallie? I think he stole the ball from Haliburton in the fourth quarter. That was a big play where he got a big steal. I thought Damian Lillard. I think the effort's been there, no question. Both ends, effort has definitely been there from Damian Lillard, sliding his feet, moving his feet. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. 608 UW says somebody tell Chris's boy Kobe going to UConn.
I mean, Look, as a Dayton fan, watching that guy shoot 49% from three, I wouldn't have it any other way for him to go play at UConn. Like, I can't be mad as a Dayton fan. They probably put up a lot more money than we were willing to give because we still have Deron Holmes' decision looming. And why not go try to get a three-peat? UConn is on top of the college basketball world. I can't be mad at it. Just hope that's not in our future, the Dayton Flyers' future, to be a minor league team for these big schools, because I think we are a mid-major, but we are a team that is poised to have an even better future than that. So, I can't be mad at it. And probably getting a generational bag from Mr. Hurley, so it is what it is.
Probably. Fellas, any final words after the Indiana Pacers take control of the series? They've won 2 in a row now. They won 121-118 tonight. Any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up and get up out of here?
Catch us live tomorrow morning. We'll be on T's and Q's. 10 a.m. Central Time. Everything just blends together, right? And then we'll be back at it on Sunday, right, for Game 4. And yeah, hey, look, tweet the show, guys. Look, tweet the shows if there's something you like, something you don't like, you got suggestions there. Also, tweet the show if you see any updates on Dame's injuries or Giannis injuries too, because you guys may see it before we do. But we're all in this thing together, man, and we're down 2-1 right now. But backs against the wall. But we gonna keep swinging. We're gonna keep fighting. And Sunday is a huge game for this series, and we got to treat it like the season's on the line.
There's one more tweet. Wavy. His thing is Bucks Dame says, "I'm starting to F with bro a little more with every tweet." And then your boy Taylor says, "He's gotten a lot better, no doubt." So it's like all my tweets get better. If I talk, how positive am I about Damian Lillard is the measuring stick of how good my tweeting abilities are to these Dame guys. But again, I'll take it. I call it like it is. Tell it like a TIS test. Hey, dog, you gotta stop drinking now.
Hey, that's funny.
No,
my fault.
Look, it's a bottle of Topo Chico sparkling water. Right?
Celsius.
Hell no, damn zesty Celsius.
Okay.
Right? Nah, man. Like I said, somebody in the chat said the Basil Hayden, and I need to re-up. I need to get a little bit more Basil Hayden, but yeah, man. What's the problem with the long bottle, bro?
Nothing, man.
Is it just kind of?
You might see it in the replay.
Is it cringe-worthy? Is it pause-worthy? Is that the issue? I need to dump it in a cup.
No, we're dragging it, but I'll be quick with this. Final words. It was a tough loss. It was tough to look victory in the eyes and then just ultimately let it slip away. But you had Dame on basically one leg out there. Nobody else could make a shot. Chris Middleton's the only one who can, and they got a little more aggressive at the end, more intense, and we weren't able to pull it off. Weren't able to win, but I still feel really confident, especially after the fight that I saw, being down 16 or whatever it was in that first half, and being able to take the lead and send it into overtime. And I do think that this team has some more basketball in them. And hey, if we get past this series or get Giannis back late in this series, look out. That's all I got.
Yeah, State of Mind says it ain't over till it's over, but it's concerning. The Bucks are old, just like the Warriors. And what Glorilla say at the end of the day go in. So that's what's happening right now with the Bucks, man. So, but it's not over. It's not over. Let's see if we can get again. Who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? See if this fortune can turn around for the Bucks here. And they can get another dub in Indiana. Again, I know a lot of you guys are going to watch this on a replay. So, and if you're in the chat right now, please, if you appreciate what we did tonight, again, we Basketball Reach says we need Glorilla. If you're in the,
something wrong with that Achilles.
Hey,
something wrong with that Achilles. We might need Glorilla here.
But yeah, man, if you're in the chat, please like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff to the Cream City Crossover. We appreciate it. Helps us out a tremendous bit. Want to thank our sponsors tonight, the Law Office of Daley M. Johnson. Get all your criminal defense needs in the state of Wisconsin, whatever's going on with you. You can call him, get in contact with him, 608-893-8370.
70.
It's located at 411 West Main Street, Suite 110 in Madison, Wisconsin. Of course, we want to thank Autograph, partnering with the Autograph app. Again, one-stop shop. Get all of your latest Bucks news and information from the Autograph app. Sign up, use our code, get to the link, use our referral code, Cream City Crossover, all one word. No caps. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if you use caps or not, but all one word, no spaces, Cream City Crossover. Use the Autograph app. We really appreciate that as well. And yeah, you can catch us tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Catch us tomorrow on your T's and Q's, 10 to noon, a 973 The Game, worldwide iHeartRadio. You can also catch us Monday evening. We will do another again. So this is Monday after the Bucks play Sunday. So you catch us Saturday. Then catch us Sunday on Cream City Crossover after the Bucks game, and then catch us Monday evening after on Bucks and 60 again on 973 The Game, 1070 The Game in Madison. So yeah, man, we're all over the place. Cream City Crossover. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to check out the Cream City Crossover. Look at my Dallas Mavericks, my other squad, my Mavericks, Jason Kidd. 81-67 right now in the fourth quarter. Los Angeles Clippers, so they're doing their thing. And yeah, man, this has been a Cream City Media Group production from the Guru Trey Crosby III.
JT.
Chris King.
It was a 121-118 loss to the Indiana Pacers. If we are your enemy, it's only because we dare. To tell you the truth, don't take no wooden nickels.